Hi, I'm Dom Harvey, and this is Cody and Melissa, the creators of CLAYBEDS.
Thank you. How's it going?
Well, this is awkward. I didn't realise we were going to have like a costume clash. We're basically twins.
I had a skivvy on before. Turtleneck sweater.
Lucky I got my neck tattoos and my sleeves removed. First of all, Cody and Melissa, what is a clay bed?
So it's a bed that we've designed for our son on the spectrum. Just basically like a safety bed. So it's just a little space we can pop him into, zip him up, and he can regulate himself in there.
Yeah, and it's brilliant too. I've seen photos of it, and we'll get more into clay beds later on.
Yeah.
First of all, I think we need to get to know you guys a little bit better and introduce you. So, what's the backstory? How did you guys meet? Who should we go to first?
Melissa can tell the story.
Okay, we'll start with you, Melissa. What's the meet cute?
So we actually just met in a hotel on a night out, really.
Bunch of friends, eh?
Yeah, big bunch of friends.
Partying.
Yeah, banged into each other. I noticed Cody's eyes, first of all.
Love at first sight.
Yeah. And then he proceeded to spill a full bourbon on my white pants. And
Was it a Cody?
Yeah.
No, I think it was the Jack Daniels.
And he took me away with that. So
Swept her off her feet, apparently.
Yeah.
Right, so it pretty much was love at first sight for you guys.
Well, in all seriousness, I really liked him from the first night that I met him. Yeah.
Amazing.
I think the feeling was mutual.
Yeah.
How old were you? When was this?
I was 28, and now I'm 34, so 6 years ago. Yeah, over 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Nelson family, there's 6 of you, 3 older girls, and then your son, Clay.
Our oldest girl is 16. She's at Rangitoto College, and then we've got our other daughter, Lucy, who's 9 years old, and then we've got Shelby, who's 5, and then Clay, who's 4.
And the 16-year-old, she's got a boyfriend, and he brought influencer into the house.
He did.
Yeah, we love him for that. Yeah.
He almost copped it too.
He was literally going to go to the garage for a boxing fight.
Yeah. So before Clay was born, what did you guys know of autism?
Absolutely nothing.
What is stimming?
So it's a way of regulating their bodies. So when things become too much for him or he gets overwhelmed, he'll use either like a swing, which we have set up at home, and he'll just swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, sometimes for half an hour. He does that also with like spinning on the spot. So he'll just stand and start spinning. Doesn't get dizzy, just can spin as much as he wants and then stops, and he's not dizzy at all.
For how long?
Just however long he needs to spin. Or he might ride his bike around repetitively in the same circle around the table. So there's so many ways for them to stim. Some can be flapping.
Clay's his main one is
The head banging.
the back of his head against the edge of the cot, and that's how we started up with the clay bed. Was he would just sit there and he'd just whack the back of his head repetitively for what was the longest time?
4.5 hours.
Just repetitively for 4.5 hours at one night,
Yeah, you couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So if you entered the room, he would just keep going.
As parents, this must be the most heartbreaking thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to help your kids and you fix them really, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had people say that you should intervene, you should stop it, you should try reset them and pull them out of the bed, cuddle them, give them a milk, and then try change his nappy, reset the process, do the process again, and try to do that. And then we done all those things, and then we thought, okay, we'll try something else. And you're just leaving him, and then it was just like, there's nothing you can actually do to stop them from doing what he wants to do because it's his way of making himself feel better. So it's sometimes you just got to leave them and let them be.
And what are you guys doing when this is going on? You just in your room watching the baby monitor, or?
So over the years, because obviously it's been going on for a long time now, I still go in there. It causes quite high levels of anxiety inside me. So I'd enter the room, and even just last week, I went into the room and pulled him out of his bed. And often I sit on the floor and hold him like a baby, and I try and make the movement for Clay. So it feels less horrible because you're there supporting him, but he just really doesn't want you there. So it doesn't matter how long I spend in the room. As soon as I return him to the bed, he just starts again. So it was just a matter of for years I didn't even know what to do. I'd just watch him on the monitor, pop into the room, take him out, cuddle him, pop him back into his bed. It would start again. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, it wasn't really an option just to take him out of his bed and like start your day. We were worried about also teaching him that 1 o'clock in the morning was now time to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to let him basically stim. And even this morning he started at 4 a.m. and he stimmed until 6 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
4.5.
Right. Geez, nothing can prepare you for this, eh? Like, you've been through this 3 times before with the 3 girls, and then you have an autistic son. Nothing can prepare you for this, right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't something like Cody was saying, it was never going to happen to me. Yeah. It was never going to, and it sounds selfish in a way, but I was never going to have a child with disability or special needs. I never ever seen it coming. So when we've received it, it's taught me a lot. A lot about myself as well. So
I was just going to say that as well. It's taught us a lot about ourselves, patience, appreciation.
What's the impact been like on the three older girls? I'm guessing they're not getting 25% attention each, are they? Because it's just not possible.
No.
I guess there's been a lot of for time for the children. I would say that I'm 50% on Clay. And that's sometimes more, and that's just kind of how it's had to be, because keeping Clay alive has been really important. He has been a runner. He has tried to jump over balconies, jump out windows, run in front of moving vehicles. So it's been a matter of priority, and the girls have had to take a little bit of a back seat, which I feel plays out in their behaviour sometimes as well. And I try my absolute hardest to make up for it, but the guilt is very real.
I think Mel does a good job of distributing her time and energy more than she realises. She does a pretty good job, I must admit. She tries divvying it up really well. Like sometimes it's just like, all right, Lucy's getting a full day. I'm like, what? They're like, a full day. It's a yes day. We're like, oh, excellent. Dad's pulling out his wallet. It's like, all right.
God, he's. How does it make you feel hearing that?
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah,
I think I'm probably a bit hard on myself with it's a tricky one, because my heart's really been torn towards Clay. I think it was hard for him and I from the very beginning, so it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So I feel like I naturally put a little bit more of my energy, knowing that the girls, I've done the early years like really well with them, and I feel like they're great girls. They've got a lot of confidence, but we just, I don't know, it's very emotional.
Yeah. What about the toll it's taken on you guys as a couple?
Yeah, it has. It's affected us majorly, eh? Just even trying to get time out, with 4 children, it's easy for just a babysitter to come along. They come along and it's all good. All your kids go to bed normal times and they eat all together. And Clay's got a specific routine that he has to do. And if he doesn't do it to fulfill it to his needs, that he won't go to sleep on time. And there's just there's meltdowns. There's that massive needs of the body swings, the movements, and it's affected us majorly, for like having time out for ourselves, and even like trying to go traveling and stuff like that. Clay won't go into he won't go onto a plane, so we can't take him into like traveling overseas or doing any of that sort of stuff. So
even away for a weekend.
Yeah.
So we have missed out on a lot as a couple, I feel.
Yeah.
Even like on the day that we got married, we couldn't even have our son at the front of the wedding just because it was too much. So there's been a lot of things that he's missed for us as a couple that have been huge. Like
even trying to get a nice photo for the wedding. He's not interested. So it's like we're chasing him around. Come on, son.
Yeah.
Someone picks him up and then we hold him and then he's squirming to get out of it. We get a quick photo and it's not just, and he's got a shirt over his head and he's screaming and it's like, and we're like, and we were kind of like at the time, we were like, oh, it's all right, don't worry. And we've seen the photo and it was okay. It was all good. But there's all these small things that you don't think about until you've got a child with special needs or autism, and then that it all starts flooding in, and then you start reaching out to the community, and you understand that there's so many other families that are in on this too, that have neurodiverse children, and it's just wow. And it's you get a lot of support if you reach out to the right places,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know that's unreasonable though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm in therapy now trying to deal with the grief side of it, because it's definitely created a lot of feelings inside me.
The grief side of it? How do you mean?
Well, so when you have a child with disability, from my perspective, how I see it is there's a lot of things that we've missed out on because of Clay's disability. So it feels like I'm grieving some type of loss for what it could have been or what it should have been. Like, for an example, enrolling all my children into play sports this year, and my son's 4.5. And I remember thinking back before I had a son, how excited I was going to be to stand on the sideline and watch my son play his first game of rugby. And I feel every single moment of that has been stripped from me. And now I spend countless of hours sitting in occupational therapy, speech language therapy, meetings on what school might look like for him, whether it be special school, mainstream, fighting for teacher aides. So that part of me has where the grief is kind of set in, where I feel like it's almost in a way like, why? And I feel like I never got to experience what it feels like to have just a son that's not on the spectrum. So I think that's where the grief has kind of set in. So I'm trying to process through it and just learn to just fully accept it, and that this is what our life looks like.
Yeah, he's a very lucky boy because you're great parents. Yeah, I imagine after having 3 daughters and then you hear you having a son.
You get your son,
Yeah.
Yes.
I was over the moon too. I was like, a boy.
Is that when the pictures start coming in about sports? And,
Just
getting them into all those things that, like your dads get your son into. You get them into boxing, you go for haircuts, you go for cruising in the car, you do all those cool things, and you kind of feel a little bit ripped off.
Well, you can still take him out for his first neck tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll really appreciate it.
So the birth was all normal. Everything was fine. No complications.
No.
So there was quite a few complications.
Okay.
Yeah. So my birth, I went into premature labour at 30 weeks. My waters broke at home, just on the ground. And then we called an ambulance and I went to hospital. Basically, I was told they wanted to keep me in hospital for 6 weeks straight on bed rest. And Chubby was only about 8 months old at this point, because they're back-to-back, they're Irish twins. And I was like, absolutely not. I've got 3 kids and I need to be at home. So I took hospital leave and would go back every second day for monitoring. I ended up staying in for 1 week, though, during that first initial period, just to know that everything was going to be reasonably safe. And I laboured again 4 days later, in the middle of the night, and it was just me and Clay. Cody was at home with the girls, and they were all asleep, and we weren't able to get hold of Cody at the time. So we went through labour, and I was petrified. I had no idea what was about to happen. I had a nurse and doctors everywhere with an incubator ready to deliver my son. And basically I freaked myself out so much that they ended up injecting me with something to pretty much put me out. They managed to get the labour under control, and he stayed in for 6 weeks. And then I had 36 weeks. So that was a extremely stressful period for both him and I.
What do they know about autism? Like, is there a cause for it, or is it just a random genetic thing?
So it can be genetic.
Yeah, we've had genetic testing done.
Yeah,
but ours wasn't genetic related. Was it?
So they can't always 100% guarantee anything.
Yeah.
So they haven't been able to say 100% it's not genetic, but it definitely looks like it wasn't genetic. And there is like environmental factors. So
stress and stuff
and things
Pressure.
like that. So
Yeah, well, that sounds like a very stressful period of time.
Yeah.
So when did you first realise that he had sensory issues? When did you first start to sort of think something's not 100% here?
Maybe 6 months with the first time he sat up.
Oh
and
yeah,
was headbanging.
that's right. Yeah, the first time would be the 6 months because
Yeah.
he started headbanging at 6 months.
Yeah,
As soon as he could sit up, and then we just all of a sudden noticed in his cot one day, and he was just in there, woom, woom, like having a real good hoon, and we were like, "What's
Yeah.
he doing?" We were like, "What's going
I
on?"
literally was in shock.
And we were like, "Wow,
I was
this
like-
is
it's alarming.
crazy."
It's
Yeah.
alarming, especially when
Yeah.
you've been through the parenting journey before 3 times.
Yeah. I ran up the staircase like extremely fast. I was
We're
like,
like, "What are you
is
doing,
going
son?"
on?
Yeah.
And he's going to definitely love Pantera when he's older.
Yeah, it'd be a rocker. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. So that's when the headbanging began. So that's his stimming thing. This has like
Yeah.
been a
stim, yeah.
cornerstone of his life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, as soon as he could sit up, he just started headbanging in his cot.
It's a proprioceptive thing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got high proprioceptive
Right.
needs. Yeah.
Which is like the best way to explain it is that proprioceptive needs is someone who feels like they're in space. So a lot of autistic children feel like that. They're in space and they don't feel like they're very grounded. So that's when like weighted blankets and things like that come into play, and like
Heavy shoes.
heavy shoes and hanging from like a dead hang from like, you know, just like a chin-up bar or stuff like that. All those kind of things, and swinging around repetitively, it makes them feel grounded, and that's why a lot of the autistic children do them for their proprioceptive needs.
Geez, you guys have been on a steep learning curve, haven't you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before you came up with the idea of clay beds, which we will get to, what else did you try? You try like bubble wrap in the cot, or like some small rugby headgear, or
No, but seriously,
Yeah.
they
We thought
did
about-
offer us a helmet at one point. But our sons...
No, I'm wondering because you guys have come up with this amazing idea,
Yeah.
which is going to change lives.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, what other steps you went through, what processes before you got to this?
We put foam in the original cot. He had just like a porta cot because we put him into the wooden cot when he was young, and then he'd started doing that, and we were like, "Oh, that just doesn't sound right when he's whacking it against the wood." So we were like, "Let's just get him a porta cot, and then we'll just work it out as we go." So we got the porta cot, and that was cool. And then the headbanging never went away. So we were like, "Shit, okay, well, this is crazy. Let's try some foam on the inside." So we'd put some foam, and then we're like, "Oh yeah, that looks really good." He'd just rip it out, and we're like, "Okay." And then-
Literally in 5 minutes gone.
yeah. It must have been the angle because his head wouldn't go line up right to the back. So it like, because the foam was at the top, it'd hunch him over. So then he'd get upset and rip it off, and then he'd go back to rocking and doing it, and he was grooving again. It was just like, it was, wow, it was crazy.
Did he? Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around it. Like, how intense is it? Like, is he like drawing blood, or is he bruising himself?
So he managed to put himself in hospital, which is when we...
At one stage, yeah.
Yeah, when we were done. That's when the clay beds came about.
That was the turning point, hey?
Absolutely. I would go into the room and the cot would just be full of vomit. And I remember thinking like, oh, that's weird. Like, must be getting a stomach bug. But it turns out that he was actually giving himself concussion. So the vomiting was getting caused from the head knocks. And then we fought quite hard to get an MRI to make sure he hadn't done any damage to his brain. And luckily, although he smashed his head for hours every night, we got away with that.
Yeah.
So we were like, right, he's getting strong, he's getting bigger. We've got to get him out of this bed before he actually does something we can't come back from. So
Yeah, no, yeah, it's 100% that's what it was, yeah.
God, that's so distressing. And what's the process to get him diagnosed with autism?
It's a long process, eh?
yeah,
So how long did we have to wait? So we had to go to the doctors, get a referral, and then we had to go to a specialist, and then we had to wait. How long was it till we had to see the specialist? Like a year or something?
yeah, the wait list was nearly pushing 2 years. So we actually went private
Yeah, that's right.
because I just needed to get him diagnosed so I could find out where to from here. So we ended up going private to get him diagnosed with autism, and it took probably about 6 months, which was really lucky for us. And yeah, it was a long appointment, about an hour long of being in a room while they set things up on purpose to see what Clay would do. And he performed all his tricks just perfectly.
Oh, like the stimming, the heat
everything.
banging.
He did the whole lot. Like he even attacked me in front of them. So,
which is terrible, but also good. Cause,
because sometimes you go to the doctors and your kids are sick, and all of a sudden you arrive and they're better. So I was
take your car to the mechanic, and suddenly it's not making that rattling
knocking's
noise.
gone away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Clay really played it on that day. It was great.
And the guy that did it was really lovely, eh?
A beautiful human. I couldn't have asked for a better person.
Yeah, and he was super compassionate and really patient, and he just knew exactly what to do. And he was pretty cool, eh?
He was amazing.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
So being told your son has autism, at that point, is it a relief to have some answers, or is it? Yeah, what's that moment like?
For me, it was quite frightening, and I was in complete denial.
Yeah.
I said, no, my son doesn't have level 2 autism. There's no way. No, because they base it on lots of things, but it's like your sensory and how. So autism, from what I know, is based on social cues, visual cues, and things like that. So Clay was good at always visually looking at things and picking up on a few cues. So I was always under the understanding that, well, he's really good at locking eyes with people. He can do facial expressions. So there's no way he's going to be. He's just a high functioning, which is on the lower scale of the autism spectrum. I think it's lower functioning, level 1, level 2, level 3, which is like really severe. Level 2's moderate, and level 1's like just a little bit of help, And then so complete denial. There's no way my son's got that. He's on level 1 at the max, and yeah, it was quite frightening, to be honest. I was in denial for a long time, eh? I've only really just sort of accepted it in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So how long has it been since you found out?
Well, he got diagnosed when?
At 3 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. I knew it wasn't a shock for me.
Yeah.
I 100% knew, and I was ready for the diagnosis. So when we got the video call to give the diagnosis, we were actually sitting on our bed together, and we were chatting about it beforehand, and Cody was like, this is going to be easy. Breeze, like he doesn't have it. And I remember sitting there thinking, I wish that, I hope you're prepared for what's about to come, because I just knew that Clay was autistic. And then when the phone call came through and we answered, I could just feel by the looking on the person's face, what he was going to say next. And I looked over at Cody and I could just see that Cody was struggling to process it. Even when we hung up, he's like, maybe we should get a second opinion. And I just had to sit with it and know that that's what it was. And as the years have spelled out, in fact, we wouldn't be able to deny it now.
No, you can't deny it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's very obvious now. It's funny because when you start getting aware of the traits that they have, you see it in random kids at the park, we'll go to the park and be like, autism straight away. Before, we wouldn't have seen that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, you almost could look and be like, wow, that child's really badly behaved. Because a lot of the tantrums, what looks like a tantrum is actually them freaking out. Yeah.
It gets mistaken quite often, eh?
Yeah.
So on a day-to-day basis now, what does it look like for Clay? Is he communicative?
Yeah, so we've been doing speech language therapy for 1.5 years now, and he has words. So he also has global development delay as well, though. So he's very young, but we can understand what he needs. So we're starting to get 3-word phrases, which is huge. He can come and be wants a water, or he's saying love you now. So when we put him to bed,
it's special,
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents don't get that with non-verbal autistic children.
Yeah.
Which is a heartbreak, Always wanted my kids to be able to say, I love you, Dad, because that's,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the connection,
You also reward for all the hard work you're putting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every night I put him to bed, Clay's whole life feels scripted, hey?
It's just the same
Same
routine
conversations, same everything's the same. So nothing changes for Clay. It's just the exact same script.
Because he loves that routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the same words, same conversation, same toys.
He needs it, yeah.
What about things like going to school?
The special schools are beautiful. They've definitely catered for kids so they can't leave, run out of the school, which is something we have to keep in mind. But at this stage, Clay only does kindy 6 hours a week with a full-time teacher aide. He can't, even getting to 6 hours is a lot. We arrive on the last 3 hours and he's ready to leave. He needs to go home, and we go home and he'll get into his bed and head bang until he feels regulated.
Have you guys had a full night rest or full night's sleep since he's come along?
She definitely hasn't. I can't remember. I have had a few here and there.
I think I've hit my longest sleep in 4.5 years in a row is 5 hours.
I can back that. Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah.
So is it sort of like you would have gone through this before, but does it feel like you're constantly dealing with a newborn?
Yes, that's the best way to describe it. So I have, because I can't sleep through Clay's head banging, I just wake up. And I've got, because he is non-verbal at night time, so Clay will use his voice during the day, and as soon as we put him into his bed at night, he turns into a complete mute. So even if he's vomited, if he's wet, if his nappy's leaked, if he's hot, wants a water, he won't say a single word. So if I don't wake up and check the monitor, he could be stuck there for 5 hours covered in wheeze, or, it's like, so I can't sleep knowing that there's potential that he needs help. So it's just round the clock.
And that's happened before, hey?
Yeah.
Woke up with a big rash because his nappy had leaked, and it was like he had this like urine rash all over him. And it
Like burned his skin.
Burned his skin. He must have had not enough water that day, and it was like real,
Oh, poor little fella.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So toilet training's delayed?
Yep.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
haven't even touched the
Okay,
surface.
okay.
Yeah, he's full-time in nappies. Yeah.
So the idea of clay beds, how did that come about?
Well, that was when, so we'd been thinking about it when he started head banging. We thought about it, and oh yeah, but he's all right. And then as it went, and then the thing that really was the tipping point for us was the hospital visit when we noticed he was concussing himself. So we had to do something about it, and that's when we decided. We looked at all these different ways, and we thought, you put a single bed in the corner of a room, and then you put a long headboard, long here, a short headboard here, a long headboard here, and the short one there. We'll nail it all together, make it all nice and cozy. So it's like this little box, which was a good idea. And like if that was what would work for you guys, that's cool. But then we wanted something that was, a bit more
Breathable.
yeah, aesthetically pleasing, something that was going to look cool in his room too. So then we just decided, let's go full tit. Let's just go give it our best. So we hunted around, got these frames, and went to upholsterers, and we just did this amazing job on this bed. It was amazing, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a fort. There. Yeah. Is that the best way to describe it? Or is that just
like
one
a
of the
comfortable fort where they can just be themselves,
I
regulate,
always
play with toys.
It's like a modern, oversized looking porta cot is how I feel. Because you can see it's like breathable, and you can also see into, like, peek into it. So it felt less. Because, when we came out with all these different designs, we were literally sitting at the table with a pen and paper one night. And I was like, that's awful. Like, at one point we were like thinking about like boards and all sorts of things. And then I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah. Just anything that was going to work.
No. Like, we can't do that. So it was definitely, it took a little bit to scratch up. But
yeah, it was Mel. I was all for the board idea. I was like, we'll just do this. And Mel, this will look mint. And Mel's like, there's no way we're putting that in my son's room, and he's not doing it. So.
And when did you realise it was working?
The bed?
Yes.
So basically we got the bed back, and it sat in the garage, and it hung out in the garage, and we let him see it because obviously a lot of kids on the spectrum don't like change, especially not rapid change.
Yeah, no way.
So we had to gradually build him up and get him used to seeing this thing in our house so we knew it was safe. We'd take turns at playing in it, laying in it, reading a book in it, and gradually moved it into his bedroom with his porta cot still in his room. And it hung out in there for, I think, over a week.
Yeah, I think it was a week, yeah.
And again, I'd jump in and play toys with him during the day. And then I think I was very nervous. Cody tried so hard, so many nights to be like, tonight's the night. We'll just get him into the bed. And I'd find every excuse why we weren't sleeping in the bed. Because I was so afraid of upsetting him. Because I just have so much empathy for him. And I was just like, I don't want him to feel scared or nervous. So, and then we kind of Cody just ripped the bandage off. He just collapsed the porta cot and was like, he's going in his bed tonight. Which meant I was going in his bed tonight. So
It was 2 nights, you
it
guys
was 2
slept in there
full
together?
nights.
Yeah.
And Clay stayed awake for 2 days.
Oh my God.
He didn't give me a minute of sleep. He just was so scared. And it was new and he didn't want it. And I tried, I just was there for him the whole time. And I knew once we hit past the first night, I couldn't go back. I thought about getting up at midnight and putting the porta cot back up, but I actually don't know where Cody'd put it. So
Smart tactic.
yeah, I was like, where's that cot gone? Like, I'm done. But it was the best thing I've ever done. It was the hardest 48 hours for me and Clay. And Clay was looking out his bed trying to find that cot and just kept looking and crying and looking at me like, what have you done? And then after 2 nights, it's literally his most favourite piece of furniture.
Yeah.
So he still does the stimming, the
Yes.
head banging in it,
Yep.
but there's padding now, so it's...
Yeah, so-
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because...
Each full corner has really nice padding, all stitched in, real professionally and done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's been done really well, yeah.
So I suppose it's worked for Clay. I suppose this is like something other parents with kids with the same sort of issue need to understand. Like it's you may have to do some work.
Of course,
You
yeah.
get the bed and you have to go through that sort of teething process.
Yeah, I
Each
think
family
so.
to their own, yeah.
Yeah.
Some kids might take it better, some not so much, but normally with autism, change has to be gradual. So
Yeah.
like Mel said, hang around in it. We're all just, get him used to it so he can see it and be like, what's that? Check it out, play some toys. And you break it down, and then you go and ship it into his room, and then he's like, oh, wow, this is in my room now. Okay, that's all right. They see it as a playpen, and then they realise that they're sleeping in it, and they're like,
Yeah.
wow. And now he loves it. It's like his go-to. If he's had too much, like his day's been too much, he wants to take his mask off, boom, straight into his room, goes in there, has a little
Just shut
play
his
around.
door, yeah.
Yeah, he shut his door on his own.
Yeah,
goes in there.
from conversations I've had with you guys, it sounds like it's a sort of safe space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if visitors come over, he'll just like
Boom,
put
straight
himself
to
in
the
bed.
Straight to his
Oh,
room.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what was that moment like for you guys when you realised, shit, this idea we had might just work?
Yeah, it was,
It was like a light bulb went off in our head.
yeah. And I feel like I remember crying. Like, I'm a crier. Clay's brought every single tear out of my body since this journey. I used to hold back the tears and now they just come. But I remember sitting after the 2 nights, clearly overtired as well. But I remember sitting there and just feeling watching him rock in the corner with the foam and then fall down and just fall asleep. And I remember feeling so proud, so proud of us that we were finally able to give him a space where he could head bang and soothe his body that was safe, and he loved it. So for me, I was just like, it felt like one of the best things I've ever done in my parenthood was to provide him with something that made him feel so good.
Yeah, and it also meant that my son's getting sleep, now my wife can sleep, we can all sleep, and we can start getting some normality back into our life. So
Yeah, definitely.
as much as you can with an autistic child.
Yeah, so not only did it improve Clay's life, but it's improved, your relationship as a couple. It's improved your daughter's lives.
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
been the best thing for the family, right?
Yeah,
It's
well,
changed
'cause-
dynamic almost.
Yeah, well, because the children used to wake, they could hear the head banging. So my child at the time, our little girl was 3, and she was really scared of the knocking noise. So she used to get up several times a night to come and let me know that Clay was banging his head or wasn't a monster. So I'd have to reassure her that it's okay, darling, that's your brother, and now we need to go back to bed. And then a lot of the time towards the end, when I could feel everyone breaking, was when Shelby looked at me and said to me, Mummy, why does Clay do that? It's so loud. And I remember just looking at her thinking, wow, how do I explain to you that movement that he's doing, wasting his head, helps him feel better? So we just...
It's just been a lot for you to take on, eh?
Yeah.
Both you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's hard work, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make the one Clay bed, and it's job done from your perspective. Where did the idea come to make your busy lives even busier?
I'll tell this one. Okay? This is what it was. Okay, so Mel's on their phone, and we're at the mall, and I come back, and then I'm come back to the car, and she's on this really important phone call. And then I go to say something, and she's like, stop. I'm like, oh, okay, what is it? And she goes, I'm on the phone to one of the specialists. I said, oh, yeah, sorry. And then they had seen someone had told them about the bed that we'd made and how it's changed Clay's life and it's all going really well. And then she goes, "Oh, sweet, where'd you get it made? Because that's a really good idea." And then I was like, "You can't steal our idea. There's no way." So it's like this massive light bulb went off, and then I was like, "No, man, we need to follow through with this and carry on." And then the rest is history. We just 100% went back through it, did all our framework, and hit the pulsar front. We need some more of these, man. All the rest is history, and here we are.
Like, knowing what I know about you guys from the meetings we've had, obviously you want this to be a successful business, but I feel like your main motivation has nothing to do with money. It's more to do with, saving other parents from the pain and anguish of what you guys have been through the last few years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm like, if I could hand one of those beds out to every single person that needed it, if I was in a position, I would be doing that. Because there's nothing quite like the nights that you go through, or even just needing a space for them to be safe. Sometimes I'd jump in the shower to have a quick shower, and I'd be thinking, like, you couldn't. Like, Clay might go jump off the balcony, or he might jump out the window, or he might see Cody leave the house and decide that he's left a toy in the car and he might want to go after him. So it was just, there's the option that he can hang out in his bed as well. And, like, that's where he just feels good. So it's definitely helpful in so many areas.
I've got so many questions about the clay beds. Let's get into these.
Yeah.
By the way, when did you settle on the name? Like, it's fairly obvious what the name is. Your son's called Clay, and it's his bed.
Yeah.
When did you settle on Clay Beds as the name for the product?
Well, we were kind of chatting about names for the business, and then we were just like, the whole reason we're here doing this is because of our son. And then we literally were just like, Clay Beds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then we sat there and we're like, Clay Beds. And then we're like, that's it.
That's cool.
100%.
I like it. It's a nice tribute to your son.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you,
Okay. Is a clay bed safe for kids who move a lot or self-soothe by rocking?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
How easy is it to clean and care for?
Very easy.
Yeah. Plastic, vinyl.
We've
wipe
made it very
away.
easy to wipe down because obviously we're aware
The
that
mattress
these
can
children can make a mess.
You've had so many bodily functions.
Yeah, exactly.
The mattress just slips in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
easy.
really easy,
Yeah.
What about assembly? Is it quite hard to assemble?
So no, not really. It's just got zips. So you zip it, the upholstery comes off, and you've just got your basic framework. That's really easy to make, like a kit set.
And we've boxed it so all the poles are already pre-padded, and it just comes with instructions on how to put it all together, and then the upholstery just zips all around it.
Where are they made? Are they made from New Zealand, or did you find a
Yeah,
supplier?
no. So we've got a upholsterer here in New Zealand that's helping us with our journey, and he's 100% backing us, and they're all Kiwi made, right here in
Fantastic.
Auckland. Yeah.
So when the courier drops it off, I'm just putting myself in the position you guys were in. I'm terrible with kit set furniture.
Yeah.
What arrives?
So we've got 3 boxes. So we've got one box that's got the longer poles with foam wrapped around them already, and then we've got another box with the mattress and the vinyl side of it, like the upholstery, and then we've got another box with the framework.
Right, so even an idiot like me could put it together?
Anyone can do it.
I want to
Cody-
challenge you to that.
Cody
If I can
put
do
it
it,
together.
you can do it. Seriously.
Okay, what sets Claybeds apart from other sensory products and options out there?
Well, there's not many options out there in New Zealand is one of the biggest things. Is we searched high and low, and if somebody could have found me a bed, I wouldn't have made these beds. So I was looking overseas. I'd sent emails to the States, to Australia, trying to get my hands on any bed at the time. But it had to be a bed that had padding, because otherwise Clay would use the frame to smash his head against it. So really, we can't.
There's not a lot of
not much
competition
yeah.
in New Zealand. There are ones that you can get funded for, but the process to go through it is like really long. You got to jump through hoops. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do, and it can be like we looked at getting one, and we actually got told that funding for our one they wouldn't provide one for Clay, and we were like, why not? We've got the best case ever. He's a head bagger. He needs one. And they were like, no.
Because they're quite a lot of money to get.
And they were
into New
super
Zealand as
expensive.
well,
They
so.
were like, through the roof, over 15,000.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, I mean, having been through what you've been through, like,
Yeah,
we
you
would have
could've-
you
paid
would
it.
just cough it up,
Yeah,
right?
we would
Out of
pay it,
necessity.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would have sold everything I own just to get him a bed. If it could have been done, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it strike you as odd that you guys had to come up with this? That there wasn't an option
I
already
was
out there?
shocked,
Yeah,
to
me
be
too,
honest.
yeah.
Like, with the
Yeah.
amount of kids on the spectrum that headbang or need a safe space,
Yeah.
I did so much research making sure that I hadn't missed, that there wasn't someone here already doing it. And for the life of me, couldn't find a bed. And it didn't matter how many people I spoke to, paediatric doctors, SLTs, OTs, no one could tell me where to get one in New Zealand.
What do you hope CLAYBEDS will achieve for other families like yours?
I think if it can just give them a good night's sleep, give their children somewhere safe where they can relax, play with toys, create their little safe space in their home, which every autistic child needs and deserves, I think that right there is a win just on its own.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys could talk directly to a parent or parents who are like in the trenches right now in the early days, what would you want them to know?
That we see you, that we are you, and we're living it, and we completely understand.
And there is a way through this, and if you need help, come see us and we'll definitely help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, how have you guys found that community sort of aspect?
So I've had to dive quite deep into it, like step right out of my comfort zone. I'm quite happy at home with my family and my kids. I'm not looking for friends. I didn't ever, I'm just very content with my life. But when you have a child on the spectrum, I've actually met so many amazing people, and it's really opened up my mind to expand and build a bit more of a community around us. And it's really nice to talk to parents that are going through the same thing. And super interesting. Like, I banged into an old friend the other day. I haven't seen her in years. And her and I spoke. We both got children on the spectrum. And we spoke about her son is nonverbal and my son's got words. And I remember thinking, oh, it must be so hard to have a child that can't speak at all. And it was interesting for me and her to stand there and bounce off each other, and for her to be like, it must be so hard that you can't travel as a family, that you can't take your son away, that he has to stay at home in his bed and can't go on a plane. And it's just the different, the spectrum's so wide and so long that all these kids are autistic with so many different needs. And some can travel and happily go away and be around loud noises and don't mind music. And then some can't speak. And so it's very it's nice to be able to have those conversations because we're all living it, and some of it in a very different way. And you feel for every individual, each family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one really good thing about, I suppose, aspects of social media, which generally gets a bad rap. It does make you feel less alone, right?
It does.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just for autistic kids, or who else could benefit from it?
No, it could be for anyone, special needs children, anyone.
Or even just children, if they really wanted,
Yeah.
a little bed that feels like it's closed in, or I don't know, our daughter asks one. So
Yeah, our 5-year-old, she wants one.
yeah, but obviously we're going down more of that side. But in general, I mean, any child could sleep in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can fit in it. It's I'm not the tallest person alive, but it's about 190 centimeters in height that you could fit in there. It's pretty wide. It gets the same as a single mattress. So
I disappear. It was quite funny. A couple of months ago, I was really tired, and all the kids were running around the house, and I slipped into Clay's room and zipped myself in. And I completely passed out, and I could hear Cody walking in the house. Where's Mum? Mum, meow! And I'm just fully passed out on this bed. It's so good.
Yeah.
she's hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys explained before the process you went through introducing Clay to the original prototype of the Clay bed. Do you think that's sort of a one-size-fits-all, or how do you think other parents in a similar position will introduce their kids to it?
I think each child, like I was just saying before, it's so different. So some children might see, on an autism spectrum, might see the bed and just be absolutely fine. Our son in particular has quite high anxiety levels with his autism. So I think that anxiety drives that type of need to get used to things first. So I don't think it's going to be a matter of like one size fits all or what we did will work for them. But being a parent with a child with ASD, you know your child. You absolutely know what will work and what it is that they need you to do to make it work for them.
Yeah.
This is a really cool thing you guys are doing, eh?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
I mean, not only has it given you guys a little bit of peace,
Yeah.
but it's also potentially going to change the lives of hundreds of others' families, which is really, really cool. So impactful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's the cool part about it. Helping other families.
It's the main goal, really.
Yeah, knowing what we've been through, and then if someone else has had a similar story, and Claybeds helps them, be over the moon.
Yeah.
Even if we broke even and could help 100 families out, I think we'd still do it. It'd just be so
100%.
cool to help out that many families and that many
I'd
people.
love to see photos of these kids just happy in their bed. It would just make my day.
It's so cool. Yeah, and I know you said before with almost like a sense of regret that, you had this vision of, what you wanted your son to be like and that you haven't had those milestones or those moments. But, are you guys proud of yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really proud of her from what she's had to deal with, and then, in her life as it is already, and then to have an autistic child, and then just watching her in the trenches, just like, like the military. She just gets up every day, does it, and just, doesn't complain, gets it done.
Yeah.
Head off to you, Mel.
Thank you.
Hey, I think you're a wonderful couple. You're wonderful parents, and now you're wonderful entrepreneurs as well. And Cody, your day job is a debt collector, so if anyone buys the bed and they don't pay...
Got that sorted.
Well, I don't know. Anyone that's watched this video today, I think they'll know what a softie you are. So
Yeah.
suddenly
So too, yeah.
the debt collector image seems somewhat less intimidating.
Yeah.
Hey, well done, guys. Congratulations. And I hope Claybeds is a huge success.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Dom. We appreciate it.